Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to another episode of For the Love of Drag. My name is Astala Vista.
And I'm Jimmy Boone.
And as always, we are going to be your hostesses with the mostesses. And today, we are the extra hostesses with the mostesses because this is the grand finale episode of Season 1, okay? Woo, 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 woo. So yeah, today we are going to be reminiscing through past episodes, talking about what we've been up to, talking about next season. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today, so let's just dive right in.
Yeah, I'm very excited. This is a full circle moment kind of for me, as you know. I shouldn't say always, but I've been a podcast fan for 5-6 years at this point in time, and I was the one who kind of convinced you for a few years into getting
I remember
you to do
when
this.
I filmed episode 1, I was like, I've never listened to a podcast. I've never, and still to this day, I'll be honest, I still haven't listened to another fucking podcast. I haven't, not one episode.
You've done a Babel one, right? Trying to
enhance
your
learning
Spanish a little
Spanish.
bit,
Yes,
right? So
look,
that counts.
You're right, bitch. Okay, I
Celebrate
have.
where you just because it wasn't some like trash gossipy one doesn't mean it wasn't a podcast.
You are right. I have listened to that makes me sound so fucking boring.
It's okay.
I listened to a podcast
She's a smart
to learn
queen.
another language.
She's a smart queen.
But yes, I guess I have dabbled in some babble, honey. And got a little podcast on. But yeah, this was like my first taste of it. It's a lot of fun to record it, but I think I like to be on this side of it.
Yeah,
I
like see that for you. You're that way with a lot of this.
Yeah,
stuff.
I like to talk. I like to chat. I wanna be the one telling the stories a little bit more. And while I do like having interactions in person, just listening to other people in my headphones when I can't chime in kind of sucks. I want to say something.
No, I know.
But you're not listening to me.
And then the only time you're really listening to anything in your headphones is either you're rehearsing for something or you're like doing on one of your walks or runs or something to that effect. So it's like you need something a little more high energy than just
It's very that. It's like I need that high energy going.
I get that. It is really cool though, just sitting here with you at the end of our first season of a podcast here. Obviously, we launched this, we started this, we didn't know exactly what it was going to become, how many episodes we were going to end up actually doing. We committed to a weekly schedule, which between the two of us it's hard to keep up with.
It is. We're very busy bitches, and it's very hard to keep up with.
Yeah, so just figuring out a schedule and trying to get everything in there has been...
It's like we talk all the time, we have conversations all the time, but like to be here in this room, record like the full, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, and of course it's us, so we couldn't have just done like an audio only format. We had to do lights and production and all this crap.
Literally,
so
I did love the road trip one where we were able
to
that
was so
we'll
much
talk
fun.
about that in a little bit. But.
So why don't we start from the beginning of season 1 here when we kicked off the podcast. Obviously, you maybe had a couple butterflies in your stomach because it was your first podcast situation.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Listen to one
like,
at that point in time.
You just start talking. I'm like, what do? You just go?
I just remember myself being so incredibly nervous compared to like just sitting down here today. I'm not the on-stage personality. I've never held a room on my own by any means. I've been a minute and a half prop in your number or something to that effect, but I've never held a thing on my own.
I think that was the hard part. That it was like usually I'm talking to an audience that I'm dealing with live, so there is real reactions and real. I can like see somebody in the audience and say something to them if they're not paying attention, make a joke out of it. It's like very real and raw. Where this, you're having the interaction together, and then you don't get to hear how anybody else responds.
No, not at all.
Ever. Not like it's just you're just so. I kind of just went into it with the mentality of like, just don't overthink it and have some fun. And now I literally give a shit.
We just sit down.
Y'all probably know more about me than you should. Honestly, I just say shit now. I'm like, well, that's that.
No, and that's. I think that's the part of it too. Though it's like just being comfortable, and I like using this as almost like a. Kind of like a diary. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the time to sit there and
if
like
you
write
went
thing.
that deep in on me, where you're willing to listen to me talk on a podcast, like you're willing to listen to what I got to say,
right?
I guess, right?
There's already that there.
You want to at least hear what's going on in my crazy head.
Yep. But I remember watching that first episode back after Evan edited everything together and just being like, oh, I'm a little nervous. You can see a little bit of nerves there. And then I just know from episode to episode, I kind of built a little bit of confidence. I'm not any Oprah by any means, but...
Look at you go. I see now. I don't listen to an episode, watch an episode. I don't do anything at all whatsoever, ever.
I was going to say, I haven't kept up, honestly, it was just...
I trust
sad
in
to say
Evan
about my own podcast, but
to edit these podcasts to what they are.
I'm right there with you. I never understood before, like you would listen to like commentaries on like a DVD or something, and the actors are like, "Oh, I don't ever watch anything that I'm in. I can't physically do that." And now after watching an episode or two back of a podcast with me in it, I'm like, I don't need to listen to myself talk for 45 minutes and just sit there.
It's different though in a performance, because a performance you want to watch back and you want to perfect it because you have things planned and you certain. Where this is like you're just kind of going.
So this is like raw.
Exactly, literally. I'm like in a performance I want to watch. I'm like, ooh, like you should have like put your hand there and did that, and that would look a little cuter. We're like this, it's like you're literally just talking.
I think the first episode too, I think I said the phrase, 100%, at least 30 times. I remember Barbara Rambo, one of our DragFam people, was calling me out at Tortilla Press Brunch the week after it came out, and that was my phrase because that was like my little comfort thing. You're a personality to keep up with. So I was just trying to make sure I had a couple little go-to phrases that made me sound like I had a little bit of a personality.
Those
as
are
well.
like you're like Emerald Bam kicking up a notch.
Bam.
100%. LOL. All right, so let's talk about where we started with episode 1. That was pretty much our journey of how we created DragFam Entertainment. We'll brief over that again. We basically started this company together without even really knowing what we were doing. I wanted to do drag. He worked at a retail store, and the schedules
I was trying to find a place
crazy
within your world as it was coming up. It was 2 different schedules completely, nightlife and retail.
So we built this company, and if you want to read a little bit more, you can go to dragfamentertainment.com. I think we have a little about section. That was pretty much the gist of episode 1. It was how we started, how 2 people living at home at 17 years old moved in together and created a
story
business.
of us.
Yeah, the story of us. Looks a lot like a drag queen now.
I was hoping you were going to do it. I was hoping.
I had to do it. Anyway, so that was episode 1. That was a lot of fun. Episode 2, that was our RuPaul's Drag Race episode. So obviously, with everybody just getting announced with the RuPaul's season 17, we're very, very excited to see.
Congratulations to Crystal Envy and Corey King.
We could finally talk about this now. I was going
to
to say we could not talk about it during that episode, but Corey King and Crystal Envy, 2 queens that I've worked with and am a fan of, are both on season 17. So we cannot wait to see them on our television screens January
2025.
2025. We're very excited. But I think on that episode we were talking about like behind the scenes. We got to work with a lot of girls. That was a really a great episode. I think a lot of people wanted to know if I auditioned, which I do not audition, so that was answered in that one. Who we worked with before. Just I think they wanted to know a little bit about my interaction with the RuPaul world.
Definitely, and I think that also sparked the idea to do that Patreon exclusive video that we did. The
reaction videos. I think we have like 2 other seasons we can do reactions for too.
There's at least one I know I have the copy of.
Yeah.
You did I think 3 auditions total. I know I have 2
I thought I did
of
4
them.
auditions total. I don't fucking know. I think it was 4. I think it was like 6,
the last
7,
one we
8,
don't
9,
count because half of that
7,
one,
8, 9, 10. It was 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
It was 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll eventually you'll see those reaction videos later. We'll dive into that. But that was episode 2, so that was a lot of fun.
Yes.
3 was definitely one of my favorite episodes. That was all about Miss Sarah, who is pretty much the HBIC of DragFam Entertainment.
Yes.
She's the one doing all the stuff behind the scenes.
All the booking arrangements, all the calls with the clients.
If you just seen that review we got the other day about how incredibly fast everything is from reaching out to getting booking, having the payment pricing information, that is all Sarah behind
We're like
the
the
scenes.
Grubhub of drag queens.
We are like the Grubhub of drag queens over here. I love it.
That was also a fun fact. That was the first...
Dash. I'm done.
Right along that line, that was a perfect transition.
I'm done.
That the Sarah episode 2, that was one of the first and not only videos on our YouTube channel that was flagged for demonetization because we talked about we went over the people that like threatened us and we talked about like sex trafficking and like crazy stuff, so they had to demonetize us for what we talked about there.
Wow, we're not gonna make 38 cents this month.
No 38 cents off that YouTube video.
But I love that episode. That was a lot of fun. Not as much fun though as
this one.
Actually, I'm totally lying. That episode was not fun. Bringing 7 cats downstairs.
I got
claws everywhere. But episode 4 was our cats episode, so we wanted everybody to meet our cats. I've got quite a few since then. A couple more have started
We've lost
sneaking
track.
in the office doors. Stinky Pete, who we did a little exclusive of, I think.
Yep.
He's been coming in and out of the office more than honestly we are anymore. He's an employee now too. So I guess
maintenance.
Literally, I guess we'll have to eventually do an update on that episode.
Yeah. They're also due to get fixed and whatnot. The final crew of our whole summer kitten crew.
Petunia is finally going to be getting fixed. We've had her here for about 8 months, rent free, just chilling. We're not having her. She's not ours. Like we will be getting her fixed and adopted out. But yeah, the cat episode was a lot of fun, just a lot of work. I do remember that. I'm like, all right, bringing these cats down, this one up. This one doesn't know this one because this one's upstairs and down. That was
and they're all cats. They're all territorial. They like their little spaces. So the second you rip them out of that and bring them outside, they're like, ah!
We did have kittens in an episode, though. So if you do want to go back and see the adorable kittens, who are all doing amazing. Now, we should give little updates, too, for the things we can. The kittens, if you did watch episode 4, they are all doing incredible now. Electra Ryan has 2 of them. Then the other one is at Jimmy's mother's co-worker's house, who, like, it's their baby. We see photos.
They're all cat
Millie
loving.
is her name now. Little silly Millie.
And then was it Sean and Cody? Or
Sean and Cody, which is an underwear company?
Yeah, porn company.
Yeah. So I'm fucking old. What's it? Andrew Christian's the underwear company. And then obviously after that we had our first drag queen guest. That was Miss Michelle's episode.
The one and only Shea Butterworth.
The one and only. We talked the other day. She doesn't even use that anymore.
No, that's just
she's like Shea Butterworth's done.
She said I killed that one like 8 years ago.
She literally, she's like, if you just say it though, she's like, that's fine. I don't mind. And I was like, okay, well, I just keep doing it years later. But that was a really fun episode. I love that one. That one was just so easy. It was just like friends talking to friends. Like we already know everything. Let's dive into stories and
backstories and everything like that. I love that.
After that, I think was the Growing Up Gay episode.
That one we got a little deep, a little emotional.
We did. That was a really good episode. Yeah. I want to do more talking about childhood memories too, because I have some fucking funny ones. Like I have some high school ones. There's this one story I really want to tell. I can honestly tell it right the fuck now. This has nothing to do with me growing up gay, but like I had a friend who. She was in the weird people group. I was in like the fucking weird group. You know what I mean? We were wearing chains. Our hair was colored. So I don't know if they identified as queer or whatnot. But right after high school, I was friends with them on Facebook. Somebody fucking revenge porned them so hard.
Wait, is this the story?
Hacked into this girl's fucking Facebook like the year after we graduated, changed her cover photo to her titties, changed her profile photo to her coochie, and then uploaded a video of her spreading her asshole. And literally like grandma was on that page.
What did she say when she spread her ass cheeks?
Hola, me llamo Alana. I think she was sending it to somebody in like Spain or something. I don't know what the T is, but when I tell you that sticks with, like, I'm traumatized by that.
And wasn't she like locked out of the account too? Like,
yes, like the person who ever hacked her, like locked her out.
Password
it was
or whatever,
chilling there 2 weeks.
Is it still there?
No, no. I think actually they're all back, and I'm still friends with them on Facebook. Okay. That was one that like that traumatized me. I had a mini experience like that in high school. There was one girl who did not get along with me. It was like another gothic girl in my little crew, but the other side of the crew. And I don't know what I did to piss her off, but she wrote my cell phone number on 4chan, which was this like Reddit before Reddit kind of back in the day. And it was like her titties out with her face. She was a little cutie. And it was like, call me, and my phone number. And I was getting calls, texts. This bitch got me together. She got me together. That was when I was in high school, though. The thing that happened to that other girl.
You can't even do anything about that because it's her tits.
Yep. I mean, she was probably like 17, so I could have like reported her for that, but that was just the whole fucking thing. But yeah, those two things, they stick out with me from high school as well. I don't think we brought them up in that episode, but
no, that's incredible. I also have a couple like VHS tapes. I'm sure Evan could do something fancy with to include them in there that are just like hilarious moments of me as a kid that I would love to have like put in the archives.
I love that. I'm going to have to get the video of me at Six Flags performing Everybody by Backstreet
Boys. Didn't you do like a music video or something at Disney
World? That was the music video.
Okay,
yep. Okay. Well, and I was holding the guitar like this because I didn't realize that
you said you did a talent show at one point too.
I did. I performed.
Is there a video of that?
Oh, I don't remember. I remember the choreography though. It starts with one thing. I don't know why we were doing Linkin Park. Yeah, just me performing Linkin Park. That, and then we did Shape of My Heart. And I was so jealous of Danny, the kid who got to like slide to his knees and do the slow part. He was the other kid.
The knee slide.
Yeah, he got to do that, and I was like,
I see that.
I forget
that was
the part
a
of the song.
Thing.
What's the fucking song? I was like, girl, you don't want me to be. It gets really fucking
slow.
That's a
later Backstreet Boys song. Yeah.
And I was so jealous. I was like, this little motherfucker.
He got the drama moment.
He got to get the whole drama moment.
The Taylor moment that we always talk about.
Yep. So anyway, we'll definitely do like a high school, more childhood ones that maybe aren't about. I think that one was like the trauma of growing up gay. Yes, that episode. Yep. We'll just dive into, or like the gay shit we did. We'll do a full just like talking about our friends, all that fun stuff later on.
High school or something.
High school, yeah. After that, we did Disney, and we had to do Disney because I do love Disney, but we knew Disney was going to be an episode where everybody was going to want to tune in. Yep. Everybody loves Disney. So we're like, let's do an episode and talk about our favorite characters, our favorite movies, our Disney experiences. Yep. That was a really fun one. Yep. I will say, and I'm going to keep the tea real, I can't imagine me going to Disney too many more times in my life, girl.
No, I know they're making some upgrades recently, but after that...
Like the Villain Park or something. Yeah, they need to do something new for me to come back,
whole new
because
world.
that a whole new world, seriously, they get you, girl. They get you good. It's $15 for a water. Like,
and like I said, the time that we went just before COVID to the time I went probably 5 or 6 years before that, I seen like a decline in things. Like each gift shop used to have its own little moment in Disney World, and then you would go into one gift shop and it was like all the same merchandise that they had at the one across the street, and then the same with the one they had up the block there. It was just like they were just trying to get your money, whichever store you went into.
Yeah, and I feel like, I don't know, like we can go to Puerto Rico and we can
experience culture
and just do so many things for $20.
Yep.
Like you can literally
There's
go.
so many places like that.
You could just so like there. I feel like you're just constantly. It's like, how much can we drain these people for? I do feel like just walking into Disney is literally a matter of like, all right, you're a person now. What number can we get out of you? It's
literally.
just.
They have price ranges for everybody.
I mean, you see all the dads wearing the shirt like most expensive day on earth. It's like, it's real. It's fucking crazy over there.
One thing that we have never...
The flight is the only thing that's cheap because, bitch, like I told
Orlando.
you, one of those, I can get you that dirt cheap flight. $29, you'll be in Orlando.
One thing that we have to consider, though, is checking out the other Disney worlds of the world. Like there's like a
I want to
Japan
go
one,
to
I think.
Tokyo. I would... It's one of those things. It's like, is that what you want to do when you're there? Maybe.
No, but
if
if I'm going back to that world, let's go to that one.
Fair, and if you're doing Tokyo, that's because you just have a stupid budget. I mean, if you're going out, that's going to be an expensive vacation. What's another $500 for a day in Disney? Yeah.
Like you plan the 2 weeks so you don't have to. You can get the most out of your flight.
And a flight out of there, that's a flight that's not going to be cheap
I have no
at
idea.
all. Oh, speaking of flight, can we tell that fucking story from our flight the other day?
Yes,
this is
go for it.
nothing to do with our Disney
Go for it,
episode.
go for it. We totally wanted to talk about this.
We just did a little mini tripette to San Juan, and a flight there is like $65 one way, about like $120 round trip.
Yeah.
Relatively cheap flight. So we can go there for a weekend, and Airbnb's $55. You can literally spend $300 and have a Caribbean vacation.
It's cheaper than like a Jersey Shore trip.
It's cheaper than a Jersey Shore trip. It's amazing. So anyway, we were, I think, in like row 18 on an aisle row.
On the emergency exit.
The emergency exit row. And then we had this guy that was sitting across from us on the emergency exit row too. Whatever. And the flight attendant, was standing behind his seat and kind of had his like elbow up on his, where he would put his head.
Headrest.
And the guy like didn't freak out, but he asked if you could like get away. Like
he couldn't even put his head.
He couldn't put his head back, so he was like, could you get away? And when I tell you, this flight attendant was the sassiest, gayest motherfucking thing you've ever. The second this man said something, he went on a like Electra from Pose.
Yep. He was like, "You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay."
Like Miranda Priestley tangent.
Yep.
Like it was crazy. It was like, "Sir, I am standing here doing my job right now, and what I'm going to do is do my job while I'm behind you. You can lean back if you would like to lean back. Feel free to lean back, but I'm going to be here doing my job." It was insane. It got a little crazy and got a little heated.
It was a bit much.
It was a little bit extra. So I think after that, it kind of fizzled down.
Yeah, it was fine pretty much after that.
He told the guy to calm down. Everything was whatever, but you felt like there was a little bit of a tension.
It was like you said. It was like the scene in Anger Management. Like the guy he wasn't
that crazy.
He wasn't hype at all. And then the guy was telling him to calm down, and there was like nothing he needed to calm down about.
Yeah.
He just asked him if he could not have his head right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
So anyway, now it's the time where they do the safety check thing, and because we're in the exit row, they have to ask, "Are you okay helping
in the
aiding,
event of an emergency?"
Yeah. I mean, I say yes every time, but bitch, if the plane's going down, I'm out toodaloo. But anyway, they've gotta like
gotta get it in writing.
They've got to get it in. Yes, you have to say the word yes. You have to literally say the word yes. If you don't speak English, I've watched them move people because you need to be able to say yes and understand it. This guy, he said yes, but after he said yes to the same flight attendant that he had the tiff with, he said motherfucker. He said yes, motherfucker. He was not having it.
Nope.
I'm going to tell you right now, this little homosexual went to the front of the plane. He did a couple points, a couple thises, a couple that's. Another flight attendant comes back and says, "Sir, we're going to have to take you off this plane right now."
Yep.
The guy had to get off the fucking plane. Guy had to get off the plane for dropping a motherfucker.
Yep.
It was kind of iconic to watch.
So mind your P's and Q's while you're on the plane.
That is the lesson there. Mind your whether you're going to Puerto Rico,
Mind your
Tokyo,
M's and F's.
Florida, be nice to your flight attendants because they have the power to say bye-bye.
Yeah.
I was gooped.
I tried to overhear. I think the situation was he gets rebooked on a later flight without that flight attendant, so there's not a hostility
Yep, that's
moment.
exactly what it was.
But,
so
yeah.
he pretty much just has the power to literally say, "I'm holding your day up for 8 hours." Mwah!
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
Anyway, that was nothing to do with Disney, but we somehow ended up in flights. This is what I like about podcasts.
Yep. Just a little tangent.
Anyway, now the next episode, the politics episode, that one aged really well, everybody. So the politics episode, we're living in a crazy world now. It's a Trump world, I'm pretty much what's going to end up happening is Elon Musk is going to do a shit ton of technology shit.
Yep.
I don't really think, honestly, if I'm being real, anything's going to be happening with drag. I
No.
do think there's going to be some trans rights that are going to be stripped. I think things like that are going to be real. But
I think people with immigration and that
like,
kind of,
I don't feel like
that's
I'm
where
like,
I think people need to be the most worried.
yeah, like I don't feel like I'm not. Yes, I totally agree there. Totally agree there. I don't think though, as a drag queen, I have to fear for me not being able to do drag anymore. I don't think
No,
we're
I
going
agree with
back
that.
to like 2 pieces of women's clothing have to be on a woman.
I think all the scare tactics too that were happening the last like year or so in the media and stuff, I think they'll fizzle down a little bit too. Because they were just meant to like point attention at other things. So that
I mean, the hardest part to realize is we're surrounded by motherfucking morons. Like that's the hardest part to realize. You're like, holy shit, like they're really dumb. But when I sit here and really break it down, and I hate to do this and I hate to use logic, his campaign was very, very smart. He attacked Twitter with a bunch of scare tactics.
You
could
had to
not
use
scroll.
algorithms.
Elon Musk, owned Twitter. So like this shit that was going on in there.
The bastard was giving away $1 million a day.
$1 million a day for you to sign for shit. His what is that? A campaign was based on it doesn't matter if it's fact, it matters about winning. Scaring people, this, that, it's nasty.
Whatever it takes.
It's wrong, it was horrible, but it won.
Whatever it takes.
It did the damn thing. She tried to be like, let's be good people and grow forward, and like clearly that's not where we're at in America.
Yeah.
Most people, they're so fucking distracted with their real life too. They don't know what's really going on
They have their
behind the
heads
scenes.
up their
Yep,
asses.
they're like, well, if gas is down 30 cents, that's all I give a fuck about. But anyway, that's the world we're going to be living in probably for at least 12 years, I'd say. Trump's going to be doing it for probably 4. After that, we'll get JD Vance. By then, hopefully, we do some crazy shit to make it so like Elon Musk isn't the fucking like 50th president of the United States. But he was born in another country. We're fucking good. Honestly, though, you say that can't shit like
somebody could change something.
Shit could get changed.
I think that's one of those, like, it's like the birthright thing that Trump wants to get rid of, like your birthright citizenship. It requires like 2/3 of the Senate and Congress and the president to make that happen.
Yeah, I just think
Online, technically.
people. I don't know what needs to be done. I know Luigi Mangione was with us on that night, and other things like that. and any other thing that ever goes like that, that alibi would stick as well. Because that's the type of shit in this world that's going to really, unfortunately, need to happen to make change. Because it's going to be a crazy world we're entering. That's for sure. But YOLO.
Following that episode, though, just to completely. We welcomed our next drag queen special guest, a completely positive energy, Miss Ophelia Hotass.
We did. That was a fun one. That was a fun one. That was very, very fun. That was pre her trip to Nashville, right? We weren't even able to talk about that yet.
That sounds right. Yes.
I believe I was scared because I didn't want to
slip up.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that was
we
very
had,
fun.
Booked
one.
everything, but we didn't get to do it.
Yep.
She brought her Wawa dress, and we talked about all of her drag upbringings and everything to that effect. I really like the special guest concept, and I really hope that's something that we dive into a lot more during season 2.
Well, luckily, we're in full control.
Shh.
So.
Evan's in control. He doesn't know yet. Scaring the poor kid. Following that, we went right back to, I think this was like our first travel episode, more or less, where we talked about our trip to Provincetown, Massachusetts.
Yes, which was such a great episode. And that episode is actually the reason that we are having Miss Varla Jean Merman.
Yes.
In,
I think by the time this comes out, she'll have already been here.
She'll have already been here.
Yes.
So we're going to be having her show next week. And we are so excited. That is just a level of drag I aspire to create. It is high production, high drag, and I'm very excited to learn a thing or two, watch the show again, and
I'm excited to be in the behind the scenes aspect of everything. I feel like I'm working with professionals.
Very much so.
You know what I mean?
Next level, bitch. The show was directed and written.
Literally,
okay?
I've never worked on a show that was directed and written. What the hell is that?
No,
that's crazy.
I mean, Jerry Springer. That's about it.
That was barely.
Actually, we'll have to do a Jerry Springer episode because they're doing that whole fights, camera, action
the whole
special on
behind the
Netflix. If you don't know this, we did an episode of Jerry Springer, and it's as fake as you think it is. We'll talk about that.
Prompters in the TV or in the
literally
tables.
like prompters in the fucking thing. But anyway, that was a very fun episode for a P-Town. I do want to go back there. I told Vinchelle about it. She wants to go back.
We want to plan like a little girls' weekend.
We'll plan a little girls' weekend there because that was a great damn time.
I love that one. Yep.
After that, we obviously did Taylor.
Yes. Our first of 2 Taylor episods.
It really was.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one, the Taylor one, I had no idea I would ever see the Eras tour in my life, but a plot twist of 5 episodes later and insanity. So the Taylor episode, there's nothing to go over. She's Taylor fucking Swift.
If you
Last
don't know now,
night,
you know.
if you're a huge Taylor fan, well, by the time this comes out, about 8 days ago, she released a behind the scenes on her Bejeweled music video with Dita Von Teese, who's the burlesque legend, and Dita Von Teese is pretty much just like
just a
talking
random
about
drop
her and-
video.
just a random little drop, aka we're getting something really soon from Taylor. So be ready for it. All puns intended. Next was the blonde Barbie girl herself, Miss Barbie.
Life in plastic. It's fantastic.
It is fantastic. You know me. I love my Barbies.
So good, so good, so good. We've done plenty of Barbie numbers. We were fortunate enough to go to the Barbie movie premiere, and we wanted to highlight all
Actually,
of those
the ornament that Barb got me, the Barbie one, I
Yes.
seen the actual Barbie in stores.
Yes.
You're with me, you're
Yep,
with me,
yep. Incredible, incredible. It's so cool to see the reference that it was actually
It is
established.
But
from.
and Barbie is literally on everything anymore too. Like it's not even just Barbie anymore. You just see some of the boy toys, and it's like this cross Barbie.
Yep.
I'm like, oh bitch, okay, you're everywhere.
What was the Barbie you saw the other day? There was a dog that gives birth or something.
Okay, that was too fucking weird. They do have a dog giving birth Barbie.
You, like,
now.
push on its back
You
or
push the
something?
back, and 4 babies fall out. I'm like, it's kind of weird. It's getting a little crazy.
It's like that thing. There was like a reindeer that poops out the little brown jelly beans.
It's exactly that. Because I am 6 years old still, and every time I go to a Target or a Walmart, I go by the Barbie section. I just look and see if we got anybody good. And when we went to the Walmart in Puerto Rico, I wanted to see if they had a Puerto Rican Barbie. They do not, but they had Latinistas. And let me tell you,
yep.
Latinistas are fucking fierce.
They're-
okay, they're snatched as hell, hair thick as a fucking horse. Like
It was
these
great
girls,
doll hair.
those girls
Great
were
doll
made
hair.
to just be a little hotter than
Yep.
Barbie with
Yep.
like an attitude, and I loved it.
Yeah, it was incredible.
But that was a fun episode, obviously. But the one after was the gay Christmas, the Halloween episode.
Yes, we discussed some of our past costumes.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to remember, and I really don't remember what we talked about too much that episode.
We showed some of our past costumes.
Okay.
I think we did some our favorite candies and things like that. I remember we had a game or two planned.
Okay. It's coming back to me a little bit.
Briefly touched on horror movies, but then we decided it was a big enough thing to do its own episode, which we did shortly after that.
I remember. I felt like after that episode, I felt like I wanted to talk more. I
Yep.
remember it, and that's why we did the
Yep.
other one.
Yep.
Okay, slay. So after that was the Pop Divas episode.
Yes. We had to give some credit to some of the other divas besides just Miss Taylor Swift, who's paved the
And
path
let's
for us.
talk about it now. Sabrina Carpenter just keeps climbing up that. I don't know who I said was like my ultimate queen then, but like it's a Sabrina Taylor tie.
Yeah.
Sabrina, yesterday, she just did an interview. What's that show?
Stephen Colbert, The Late
She
Show.
did
or
the Late
Night
Show
or
with Stephen
whatever.
Colbert, and she wore an exact replica of Fran Drescher's episode 1, The Nanny look, where she walks in with a little briefcase in this black suit with cheetah cuffs, cheetah collar, these buttons. It's like a flared flounce. It's fucking sickening. I actually made one myself. I have a red leather
the
version.
cartoon version.
I did the cartoon version. Basically, in the intro, she's a cartoon. It's in red, and then she walks in, it's in black. But she did the black one, and it's just like Sabrina Carpenter's that girl.
Yep.
Gorgeous references, talented. The Christmas special. We didn't get to talk about that. Holy shit! Her Christmas special.
So good.
Amazing.
So good.
She is the funniest
Yep.
little.
She
bit.
was even cracking Steve Colbert up the whole time.
She's hilarious. I'm gonna tell you right now, like one little joke that got me, and there was so many. You're just gonna be laughing the whole time. But it was rated NC-14 or TV-14 or whatever, right? So in the beginning, she's like, blah 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 blah. So I can only say fuck 3 times. Oh fuck. And then she's like, damn, I only have one more. So you're waiting the entire time to hear this other fuck. And you're like, where is it? Where is it? At one point, there was a fuck, but it was bleeped.
Yep.
And you're like, all right, maybe that was it.
Yep.
The entire thing ends. Credits come up. The whole fucking thing. 1 second
Before Netflix cuts the next thing?
Netflix cuts it. Fuck. I died. I literally died.
It was great.
And that's like one of 5 million jokes. You'll be cracking the fuck up during the entire thing. Anyway, so that was our Pop Divas one. Nashville after that. Now, I don't remember. Did we go to Nashville with the girls before that episode, or was that just
So our
experience?
first Nashville trip by ourselves was in April. So that
Okay.
was before we even started the pod.
Okay, so that was just... Okay, that was us, and then that one was when we
The
went with
pod
the girls.
episode was about Ophelia's trip.
I do remember one thing that we did not talk about when
What
we
was
went
that?
with the girls. And like I didn't not want to talk about it, but I was like scared to bring it up. I didn't know if it was like offensive or what. Do you remember how me and Ophelia and I maybe another girl or two
The
seen
guy?
that guy that's famous from like TikTok?
Yes, I wasn't familiar with the reference, but you guys
so
knew.
if you are not familiar with this, there was a meme and videos going around of this guy from Nashville, Tennessee, walking around with half of his skull gone, fully gone, no half of the skull in the back. And when
brain exposed, right?
brain exposed fully. You could look this up. Type in Nashville Skull Guy, and I guarantee you it'll come right up. And it's real, everybody. Like
we were
that's
like
not-
walking down the street.
That's
and
not edited at
sitting
all.
in a park.
Sitting in a park with
There's a
his
lot.
fucking. I did like a 2-hour deep dive afterwards. Apparently, he has been brought back and forth into different homes and keeps leaving.
He's like refusing treatment, more or less.
Very that like mental health is real and it's fucking crazy, and I don't know what you do in a situation like that because that is just mind-boggling. All
Yeah,
puns intended.
I wouldn't assume that like your body would still function like that, but I guess it
No,
does.
like it looked like a cartoon
Yeah.
in real life. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It looked like it was like a CGI thing. Insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was something from Nashville that unfortunately sticks with me more than anything.
That was real.
That was trauma right there.
that was like
bitch.
real.
That got me together. So would you go back to Nashville again too? Now that we've done it twice, I wanted to ask that as well.
I would like a little time to go by.
I agree, and I feel like if I was going to go back, I'd maybe want to also explore outside of just Broadway. I think
Yes,
both times we've done
I can see that
Broadway,
too.
and we tore it up, and we've had a blast there. But I do feel like we've done what that strip,
It
that
could be a
area,
little monotonous.
yeah, it's like we've done what that area could offer. I would love to see some more. I know there's more to do,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
like I feel like I've done the Broadway strip there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the other place that we could definitely go back in a little bit.
yes.
After that, we did our horror movies episode.
Yes, we
I
did.
don't think for that episode. No, we did see Terrifier 3 by then, right?
3. When did that come out? Yes. Yeah,
I
I think
don't-
we. Yep.
we
yep.
did?
Evan
Okay.
shaking his head. Yes, he edits things, so I believe him.
Okay, slice. So we did see Terrifier 3 by then. Has there been anything else we've seen horror related since then?
We saw Thanksgiving by then. I
We
think.
did see Thanksgiving. Yep.
No, I think that's probably about it.
No, we watched that Afraid movie, AI. We watched that
Oh,
recently.
yes.
That was decent. It was fine.
It had
It like
holes.
didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a couple holes. It was called Afraid AI in the middle.
Yeah. It was
I wouldn't.
basically like what everybody thinks is about to happen.
I wouldn't recommend it. It's short, so if you need a shorty, it's like 84 minutes.
Yeah, it was
but like
124.
I
an hour
didn't
24.
feel like I got anything.
No,
from
after
it.
watching the like Art the Clown movies where there's like 75 layers of story,
Very that.
I was missing a lot from that movie.
She has a little weak sauce.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
there's a couple other horror movies that are AI related that I've seen recently on there we have to check out. One is with Megan Fox. Apparently she's like an
Okay.
AI bot and the guy fucks her and like eventually like doesn't want to like
They were just literally. I was telling you about the AI conversation at the liquor store. They were talking about that movie.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So that's like
yep.
and
And then like the guy leaves girlfriend or whatever for AI.
I don't fucking
Or something
know.
like that.
Well,
It's-
now you're killing it for them.
spoiler
Spoiler alert,
alert.
everybody.
It could be wrong too.
I have no idea, but
Wow,
that's
I don't
one I do want to check
Yeah,
out.
yeah. No, I just heard about
Fun
that.
little concept, something different.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, I'm here for a different kind
And
of
then
movie.
the-
I don't know if it's horror, if it's like mystery drama, but
The Megan movie, that's AI based too, right? Like,
Yeah.
she's AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like Megan. She's a cutie.
She was cute. I'm
She-
waiting
we
for
need
more.
Megan, too.
I'm waiting for more.
I just don't know where you go with her because what they need to do with her is make her funny next. They need
Yep.
to fully camp the bitch up because like that's the only way you're going to keep it going.
She-
Chucky her.
She was PG-13. I think they need to let her go R.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like she needs to drop an F-bomb. She
Yep.
needs. They need to Sabrina Carpenter. She's adorable. She's cute, and she just has some fucked up shit.
Yep.
Like there we go. Anyway, so the next one, the New Orleans episode, that is a place we would go back without a fucking
Yes,
doubt.
we discovered a love for a new beverage while we were
so
down
much to do. Yes, absinthe.
there. Yes.
But so much to do even besides just the drinking
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
street there. We
yeah.
went on that Honey Island swamp tour.
Yes, that was
which
incredible.
since then, Kira, one of the guests that comes to our shows, she told me there's this whole Honey Island swamp monster thing. I looked it up.
Like a Jersey Devil, but
apparently
that.
there's like a freaking like swamp monster there. A whole thing. A whole,
Okay.
She asked if that's why we went there. I was like, no, I didn't even know that was a thing. So yeah, there's a whole like myth about that there.
That's so cool. And then that's also where they did Princess and the Frog, the sound effects.
and that's where they did the Princess and the Frog
so
sound
it's just
effects.
this whole little notorious
Yeah,
little thing.
I'm like, New Orleans was a fucking mood.
Yeah.
I
Though
can't
we didn't
wait
get to do.
go back there.
I want to do more like live music. We didn't get to do a lot of like the jazz.
In
and
our
music
reality,
club
girl,
stuff.
we have that one free Holiday Inn room that's just been sitting in there.
We do.
We could use that up.
We'll see what the points
Was
are.
it a quick flight too?
Yeah. Probably only like 2 hours, I would think.
I might do that for your birthday or something. A little bing bang boom something because New
I love-
Orleans was fun.
Yes, I love
when we were there last time, that was for school. We literally
Yep,
we
we
were
piggybacked
booked
it
at a
off of a-
school and we were like, let's just go there. I think a day early or a day later
Yep.
and enjoy the
It
city.
was great.
But I would do that
It was incredible.
totally without a school. So New Orleans, recommend the hell out of it. After that, we had our Demi Goddess episode for the love of Demi Goddess, which was
Yes.
our first episode where we had to put some of it behind a paywall.
That was exciting.
Ooh,
That
we
was
wanted
so
to add a
exciting.
little drama.
That was the one where we needed to just clear some shit up.
We did, honestly.
Demi was going through some stuff. and
Girl,
we
here's
needed
the
to clear
thing
some
with
stuff up.
drag. Like, bitches get so dramatic
Yes.
sometimes. And, like, I've been there, too.
Sure.
And it's just like, we're just doing drag.
Yep.
Everybody calm the fuck down.
You get in a little bubble, and
It does. It becomes
start
so
like running
bubbly
around
and
in a circle. You don't
cliquey
even know what
and
you're
high
doing.
schooly. I'm like, go touch grass.
Yep. None of this really matters.
Touch
at the end of the day.
grass. Like, take the acrylics off and then touch the grass. Like, dig in there a little bit. Get a little dirt under your fucking fingers because you're angry. But that was just a great episode. That was just one to like clear the air, spill some tea, and let
And
bitches
again,
know.
I just love hearing everybody's like coming up stories and like what inspired them to do things and how they got to where they are.
And her show and tell is great too. That wig.
Yes.
We
Oh
love.
my God. Yes, that week.
But
We've seen
Miss
that
Demi Goddess, she will be at Tavern and Tiaras on the 27th, I think.
Yes,
so
yes,
if this
yes.
episode comes out before then.
Yep. We'll be good.
Check
there.
her out. It'll be a 90s versus 2000s show because I know by now you're all fucking over Christmas.
Yes,
all right.
this is the your family's been with you the entire week and you need to escape.
Yeah, I
It's
was like,
that show.
by the 27th, that's the time you're like, I think I'm done. Like the 26th, you're still like, the leftovers are cute. Or
You
the
gotta eat,
27th,
yep.
you're like, I think it's time to like new year, new me. So that was the Demi episode. After that one was the surprise Eras Tour episode, which was a gag, a memory I will have forever. Cannot believe I went to the fucking Eras Tour. It was real. I remember it all too well. I mean,
Good rep.
so fucking good. So incredible.
Highlight of my life for sure.
Wouldn't go back to Indianapolis per se.
They a $5 old person?
Yeah, but I mean,
We said we'd go back to it for work.
very that. Yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like there was much to do out there, but maybe we need to stay when it's not Swifty weekend. It's not being
That's true.
overtaken.
I was
by-
like,
let's
she
give her
pulled
another
rank.
chance, right?
She pulled rank for sure.
But yeah, the Eras Tour, fucking amazing. It is officially over now, which means something's coming, guys. So get ready for it.
Her birthday's on Friday.
Ooh. After
today?
what is today?
Today's her birthday. Today's Friday.
What's today?
12/13.
Oh, it's a third. Oh, bitch! Happy birthday, Taylor. You're right. It is. Oh my god.
So what are we getting tonight?
What a gag! What do you mean? What are we getting tonight? Oh, like what she's releasing.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like us. I'm like, I'm like, I don't know what you mean. I have Quizzo in a little bit. I'm getting wine drunk tonight. That's what I'm getting, and maybe a little fucking charcuterie board. You might be right. You might be getting a little something
Yeah.
tonight, honestly.
She
So
loves a midnight.
that would be iconic. After that one was our Thanksgiving episode,
Yes,
which
yes.
was a lot of fun. That was a random, stupid one that I was like, where's this gonna go? And then by the time I was talking, I was like, oh my god, my grandpa killed a fucking turkey one year. I was like,
Yeah.
Crazy
I'm glad I wasn't there
episode.
for that one.
Let's talk about what we did for our Thanksgiving this year, though. I finally, because
Yes.
when we did the
We were
episode, it
figuring
wasn't
it out still.
Thanksgiving. We're like,
Yep.
what are we gonna do?
Yep.
So look, we always do Indian food, live, laugh, love fucking Indian food. But I want to try something different, and I finally convinced him. We did Ethiopian food, and I loved it. The only thing that I will say is we got one thing that was literally so fucking spicy that like
Yes.
it touched your mouth, and like we just threw the entire thing
On an
away.
Ethiopian menu, if it says spicy, they mean it.
Like, don't fucking play games.
It's not Applebee's
okay?
spicy.
Do
It's
not
like
play games. But, like,
spicy.
the other things, we got like chicken with peppers over
Yeah,
rice. Like,
perfect.
everything was great, but that one thing, I mean, I don't remember what it was called. Holy fuck. One nibble. And I was like,
You
oh.
smelled it and you're like, oh,
I was
heartburn.
like, I'm going to
Okay.
die.
Yes.
But I would do Ethiopian food again, not just for Thanksgiving. I want to try that again because there was like 2 other things on the menu.
Yeah.
And then next year, I think we should try something even fucking crazier.
I love that.
Let's
They
fucking
had
go.
that, I don't remember what it was called, but their bread that they served it with was very good.
That, yep. Oh, fuck.
It almost-
Injera bread. I may be wrong.
That sounds about right.
INJERA bread.
It almost looked like when you first pour pancake batter and it gets all those little bubbles in it before it starts to like cook really.
Yep.
And then like you like stopped it somehow right
But
then
it was
and
very
there.
stretchy, too.
Yes,
Weird.
it was like boing.
That was-
It was like a tortilla meets a naan almost.
That was good. Definitely highly recommend. And pretty healthy, too, for the most part. I mean, as long as you didn't go crazy on that bread. If you did the rice and the chickens and the veggies, it wasn't too bad.
And the bread was very thin. It wasn't like
I had
this,
like a
doughy
big thing of like sauteed collard greens, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
There's probably a little oil in there, but it was pretty healthy.
Very good.
So Thanksgiving episode, a lot of fun.
Yes.
Road trips episode, though, that might have been my favorite ever. We were just in
really
the
liked
fucking
that one.
car.
That was so much fun.
Chit-chatting it
Yep.
up, spilling the tea. I loved that.
That was a lot of fun. It was fun setting up the little, I'm a tech guy, so being able to figure out if the whole system was even going to work in the first place and then getting to see the final product, that was really cool. That's something that I definitely want to include more of. We do a lot of
Absolutely.
traveling, so I definitely want to include. That's an easy way for us, not to peel back the curtain, but it's an easy way for us to film an episode and to just keep our schedule going and keep everything going.
I also think an airport episode would be fun, too. Just show everybody how I have TSA pre-check and you have to wait with the peasants, like all that fun stuff.
Hopefully by then I'll actually have.
We need to get him. Basically, we tried to get him TSA pre-check, and he tried to get it for me. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna do it together.
I made the
Let's go
appointments.
get TSA pre-check."
I
said-
even got all of our documents together
I said,
myself.
"All right, like let's go. That would be
I was
great."
such a mom.
Sure, I'm so excited. Can't wait to do it. Let's do it. So we get to the office. I get my TSA pre-check. Like, here's the money. Blah blah blah. Everything's great. He goes through, sir. You have a certificate of birth, not a birth certificate. What the fuck does that mean? Have you ever heard of that?
It was literally this piece of paper that my parents got when I was born from the freaking
Yep,
hospital.
that is not
It has
good enough
a raised
anymore.
seal on it and everything, signatures, this, that, and the other.
They said, fuck that thing. You need a birth certificate.
I felt
now,
so
not a
lied to.
certificate
My
of birth.
mom, my whole life is like, make sure you save this. You need your original birth certificate for blah, 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 blah. And then this man said, nope, this isn't even a birth certificate.
So we don't even know what he really needs to do.
I know. I just got so frustrated by the fact that I just said, oh, fuck it, I'll just stand in line. I don't care.
Yeah, so we're going to work on that soon because that was ridiculous. That was
It was
absolutely
crazy.
But we really should do an airport episode.
no, that'd be
Talk
great.
about, I mean, we're smart. We bring water bottles.
Yep.
We,
People
which
don't even know about
empty,
that stuff.
like, no, there's just
People
so many
don't know
little
about that
things
stuff.
that we're
We
good.
have to teach everybody.
So we'll definitely do that in the future. But after the road trips episode was the Christmas episode, which is not even here
It
yet.
technically hasn't aired yet. No, that'll be 2 days. Comes out.
Oh, shit. Okay, well.
So we're kind of ahead of the game here.
Oh, okay. Well, we can still, talk about
Sure.
Christmas,
By the
right?
time they
Like,
hear it, the science all works out in the math.
So this year for Christmas, we're going to be spending it in Puerto Rico. Woo!
Yes!
We're going to do a couple days in Puerto Rico. It's going to be our first ever hot Christmas.
yes,
We've
yes.
never done this before. So,
Yeah, so if you don't know, in Puerto Rico, they celebrate Christmas from like the day after Thanksgiving up until I think it's like January 6th.
at the airport, there's
or so.
literally like a shirt shop, and it's like the longest Christmas on earth.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's a Three Kings Day that falls in January, I believe. So they just continue going through there, and it's everybody goes hard, like Christmas decorations, lights, and everything. Inflatable snowmen, but just like all in tropical heat. So it's
There
like,
was a building we drove past that had in their like window they had a projection screen image that we literally
of
pulled
like
over.
20 seconds of different.
Yeah, it was like
Christmas
a
movies.
loop. It was like Elf, Home Alone. What's that little snowman's from? Do you want to build a snowman? That guy,
Olaf. Yep.
yeah, I was gonna say Igor. That's not right.
LOL. That was our neighbor from upstairs at the Brown office.
I miss him.
Episode 1.
call
But yeah, that was.
That was so good though.
Yeah.
Like that was just like one example of how hard. They
So that's
go.
where we're going to be spending our little Christmas. We're very, very, very excited for
Yes,
that.
yes. And as you were saying, this is going to be our first hot Christmas. I've always been, I've always been in New Jersey for Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been a time where I've been around palm trees and beaches. So maybe we can even like stop by a beach or something. That would be
Ooh,
fun.
I love it. Well, our flight there, we might see Santa because we're.
I forgot.
Like we talked about this in another episode. I find the good cheap flights,
Yep.
girl. So I may be flying at midnight on Christmas
Yes.
Eve, but I will be in the sky with Santa to get to Puerto Rico. Okay, yeah. My flight, I think, or our flight lands at midnight exactly.
Yeah, it's like 7:30 to midnight or something like that. Yep. So we were hoping that we have a fun pilot that kind of goes along with the act here.
Very excited for that. Also, I know I talked to during that episode. I wanted the Bartesian for Christmas. We were talking about like, what is the big gift I want. Now the girls. I've heard some girls, and they've said the
know.
Bartesian sucks. So we're gonna have to evaluate. We're gonna have to get some reviews.
We gotta try
I'm not
one.
willing to drop because on Black Friday it was a little cheaper.
Yeah, I
now it's
remember.
back up. We're not dropping that money unless she's good. I don't want her to get all sticky, nasty.
See, this is the one good thing that Bed Bath & Beyond was good for.
The free refund shit.
That, and we would have been able to go there on the Saturday, and they would have had somebody sitting there demoing the Bartesian for us. Well, maybe not as alcohol, but I'm going to say
That's
that they
true.
would have.
That's true. That's a little fucking inappropriate in the middle of a Bed Bath and Beyond on a Wednesday.
I'm like-
a Wednesday at 2, but
Those people would have loved
those
it.
moms had flasks anyway. So let's be real.
What do you think's in the Starbucks cup?
Oh, but that was a Christmas episode. Unfortunately, we are not doing a New Year's show this year the way our schedule falls. We're not doing
No.
New Year's this year. We are going to hopefully do it again next year, but this year was just Ooh, excuse me, I burped.
It was fat.
This year was just fucking crazy, so we are not doing a New Year's show this year, but if you are watching this, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We're going to go into Project 2020, year 2025, and it's going to be fabulous. So, yeah. Too real?
Too real.
And then after the Christmas episode is, right the fuck here,
Here we
bitch.
are! No, but as I was saying earlier, this is a very cool and surreal moment just for somebody who's listened to podcasts for a very long time, trying to convince you to sit down and do this. And then here we are at the end of 23 episodes of sitting down.
I know, it's
and
crazy.
Filming podcasts week after week after week.
Here I am
It's
in a brand new outfit. You didn't even compliment me on it today. Brand new outfit, bitch. I didn't get a wow, you look great. Nothing.
I brought the package inside for her.
He
and handed
did
it to
bring the
her.
package in. He did.
You look fabulous.
Thank you so
you
much.
look like a winter wonderland loofah goddess.
A nymph, if you will.
Scrub mommy.
But yes, it is crazy. 23 episodes later, and I'm ready to plan more for the future. Not like plan what I'm saying, but
No,
I
no, no.
mean like plan,
A schedule,
guess.
an
I want to
outline.
schedule
Yeah.
with. I really, really, really want to dive into people that I don't know what the fuck they do, but I love seeing it online.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many drag queens and drag artists that I follow that
Yep.
I'm like, you have a following. You do these weird parties with this and like, tell me how that came about for you. You know what I mean? Like, I followed what I like, and this is how I got to be where I am.
Yep.
How is your thing working? 'Cause
Yep.
It's fucking cool to see online.
I love that. And I want to. We have a lot of local drag legends that have been doing drag for like 30, 40 years. I would love to get them into the studio and just hear some of the stories and history.
Hear how much they hate the next generation of drag queens. Was that too real? Because they're thinking it.
They'd probably be too scared to say. But no, but I want to like hear some of those like stories of the '90s and just like all the cool stuff. Like a lot of these people have actually worked with RuPaul before RuPaul was anything.
Yeah.
So it's like
Varla Jean Merman.
yeah.
Like literally.
Yep. I know Sandy Beach, who's Atlantic City-based drag legend. She's worked with RuPaul in the past. Like, there's just so many people that I just think it would be such an interesting story and to have that kind of in the DQE archives.
Yeah, I totally agree.
No, I would love that. And then I also want to be able to use the lovely technology that we have to interview and talk to some people that aren't geographically close to us. There's a lot of drag artists all over the place, all over the country that we'd be able to like tap in via Zoom and stuff like that. I really want
Very, very much. So. Even like,
I mean,
I got to work in Puerto Rico a couple years ago, and I'm still close to some of those queens.
Yeah.
On. I would love to talk about their experience working in Puerto Rico, doing shows out there, what's drag like out there, talk to queens in other states. Just it's so different everywhere.
I was like, I feel like there's a lot of
drag scene.
similarities and then there's a lot of like huge differences as well. Like I feel like you guys go through a lot of the same struggles. There's a lot of competitiveness and that. There's only so many opportunities, but then just hearing how different everything is too. Because there's been times where we travel in different cities and you can tell that the girls are like they're a closer knit family, or sometimes they seem a little cattier. Nobody talks to each other, and it's just everybody's in their own little
scenes
corner.
have more of an alt scene. Some are more of a little glamour pageant scene. Everybody's got their little cliques. They're this, they're that.
No, and as we created For the Love of Drag, I want to make sure that we like incorporated all those different types of drag and like how people use different mediums to build a full career in drag and how they have like paved the path to where we are today.
I totally agree. And we can also talk about the drag queens too that are like ruining the path that we've created too with their bad drag.
You're not.
Is that too
lying,
real?
though.
I'm kidding. I'm being a sassy bitch.
It-
It's the
it's-
finale, guys. I'm just being sassy, and I had a shot. So
but there is an effort that goes into all of this.
I do feel like drag is going to do that thing where it like flips again, and quality is going to almost be forced back soon. Do you know what I mean?
We've talked about it dozens of times, but Drag Race has created this like bubble that people think drag is easy and that you should be deserve to pay thousands of dollars right off the bat, and this, that, and that's not the reality for anybody who's actually doing this. Besides that,
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking to myself too, bitch. I want to step my pussy up now after I'm about to see this Varla show again. I'm like, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
level up, level up,
Level up, level up, level up. You want to entertain. I want to find ways to entertain better, and that's what drag's about.
Yeah. So I have talked about some podcasts and stuff that I've been listening to podcasts for years. In our absence, I wanted to just give a few of the other drag podcasts that I personally love listening to. Some things that have inspired me over the years. I don't anticipate you listening to them.
Ooh, tell me.
But
all about
I just wanted to make sure that I gave credit because some of those things are the things that excuse me, we're both dying today. Inspired us to sit here down today. So I'm a huge sibling rivalry podcast fan. That is Monet Exchange and Bob the Drag Queens podcast. I love Trixie and Katya's podcast. That's phenomenal.
You know what one I did listen to an episode or two, like not myself with you, I overheard that Ebony and Ivory one with Lady Bunny.
That's been
and
canceled.
I know it's been canceled because Lady Bunny said some crazy fucking shit. You think anything I've ever said on here is controversial? Bitch.
No,
Bitch.
they took that away from her before election season. They knew.
I mean, oh my. I think we listened to like 2.
Yeah, no.
And I said, oh my God.
There was an episode where I think their producer's name was Jay, and I know it just because he chimed in one time and was just like yelling at her because she was just spewing bullshit. But yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, Monet actually has a second podcast on her own now. I haven't listened to it, but it was that same like network that was putting on that podcast. Basically, just got rid of Lady Bunny, and now Monet's on her own.
We love to see it.
And then there's the Mom Podcast Network, who's Alaska and Willem. They have a lot of fabulous podcasts. So it's also I'm just putting it out into the universe because if you don't manifest things, they don't happen. It would be a cool crossover moment if there was ever an opportunity to kind of cross over with any of those podcasts and do a little
Just
collaboration
manifest it
moment.
and Venmo, and I'm sure it can happen.
Reach out to an agent. It's
Yeah.
all good. I know. But thank you so much for a wonderful first season of For the Love of Drag podcast. Thank you to our fabulous editor and videographer, Evan, who nobody ever really gets to see, but is always working hard behind the scenes between events and editing all kinds of videos and everything like that. Obviously, this was a nerve-wracking thing for me getting into it. You didn't really know what the process was going to be, but thank you so much for joining me along the ride. I've had an awesome time with you, and this is awesome knowing that this is just like a little history piece that's going to live on the YouTubes and the podcast worlds forever.
I'm very excited. I can't wait for season 2. I can't wait to interview some guests, get some other insight, just not our opinions on things, and hear what other people have to say.
Yep.
There's some things I want to work on in the meantime while we take this little break.
Yes.
I don't think I've really brought it up, but I have been dabbling in my own one-woman show, and that is something that I've really just been... I'm at that point now with it where the next thing is spending a lot of money on things like props and costumes and puppets and shit. So I think that's where a lot of my time is going to be going. Just really seeing where I'm taking that and how to develop that a little bit further. It's a great show that is not just going to combine my love for drag, but it's also going to combine my love for cats and hopefully help some animal shelters along the way too if I'm able to like tour this into different places. So very excited for that.
I'm very excited as well. It's going to be a lot of fun to put together.
And it's also a show that is... I don't ever like to do anything that's like fully just like distant from me. Do you know what I mean? Like any number I do, I need to like the character I'm doing. I like to do things that I enjoy.
Yep.
So this show is, there's a lot of things that are real life in this.
It's a labor of love.
It is. I've incorporated a lot of things that are real life, and then we kind of like tweak it to at that level of humor.
What do they say in the beginning of things like some names and pictures may have been changed for the protection of the people in it, but like it's very much that. Like we're using references and things in our actual careers and lives that you have put in this show. So that's very exciting.
So I think that's where a lot of my time's going to be spent. Not a lot, but a decent amount of time. Obviously, we've got some new themes coming up. We've got anime show in February coming up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be a part of that one or whatever the fuck I just said. But I know we have a couple other new themes coming up, so I'm going to be working on some costumes, getting fun stuff like that done. But I really want to like dive back in with a schedule of like guests ready to go and kick this back off in 2025.
And then we also come into the coming year want to bulk up some of our Patreon content, get some makeup tutorials, and just some fun random like have the girls
donkey shows.
I don't know if Patreon does a lot of that. We're good there. We're good there. I tried to send.
I had that donkey costume.
I tried to send a Venmo the
again.
other day for this sex education event that we did, and Venmo was like, "Can you please change the title that you're sending?" And I was like, "Oh, because it says the word sex. We can't even do that." So this whole censorship thing is too much.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's too much. It took me like I thought they were telling me my payment thing was declined, and it was like, "Can you please change the
sex workers and sex ed workers?" This is ridiculous. What kind of America are we living in anymore?
Trump's.
We're going for that. Can't write boobs on Venmo either. When Ophelia was gathering,
boob ball or whatever.
well, no, for the breastplate for the gift,
You can't write
I
boobs?
couldn't write boobs. I had to write breasts.
What happens if you write it in other languages too?
I've never tried.
Globos.
We need to look into it. LOL. I was like, we should look into that one. Now that I'm learning Spanish. But yeah, I agree. This is a lot of fun. I think we've said that about 18 times now. Should we say it a 20th time? It was a lot of fun.
22. For Taylor's birthday.
And we will be back hopefully by the beginning of the spring. That would I'd say that's my goal.
Yeah.
We are going to be doing some other content in between. One thing, like I'm literally at wit's end with my other makeup tutorial. I will have a makeup tutorial and a full makeup video out very soon because my old one, bitch, I'm looking at some of those close-ups and I'm like, ugh. I mean, it's so old. It was at the time of when I have Jeffree Star lipstick in the video. Okay?
And that was cool to have.
And that was like cool. I was like, yeah, Jeffree Star, bitch, I got that. Okay, that was like,
that was when they would like sell out and nobody could get out.
Yeah. So definitely gonna be popping that bitch out there soon. Hopefully another reaction video too.
Yeah.
Couple fun things.
Lots of things.
I guess with that being said,
are we wrapping it up?
Oh, no, this is kind of weird now. Like, all right, shit. We'll do one more episode. I love it. We'll do a New Year's episode. No, I guess. Obviously, if for some reason the season finale is the first episode you are listening to, give me a follow on Instagram at It's Astala Vista and check out the other episodes at fortheloveofdrag.com. You could also follow Jimmy. He's got a little Instagram on...
it's modest.
What is it? Jimmy Boone?
Yeah,
Just
just
straight
my
up Jimmy
Jimmy
Boone. Jimmy Boone. He's been getting better. Basically, when I say getting better, I have to force him to upload things. But I
Basically,
do.
she takes my phone sometimes.
I'm
and
like, Jimmy,
posts
like do
things for me.
something. Say you're somewhere. He's not a private person. He's just
In the moment.
he's in from another generation
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes to technology.
Yeah.
That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I don't have a TikTok, right?
No.
No, I don't have one.
No.
I barely have an Instagram.
That's okay. You don't need it. But yeah, we will see you guys next year. I used to hate when teachers would say that shit before the break. See you guys next year.
At least it's more than a week, though.
I know, right?
No, but we will be back early spring, like you said. We'll do some filming before then. So we launch with a fabulous season premiere, and we're going to come up with some other great content as well. But in the meantime, be sure to check out some of the other episodes that we've released.
And I think the most important thing to say before we go is a big thank you to our sponsors who have made this possible. I know I joked earlier, and it really wasn't a joke about our backs fucking hurting from these chairs. The first thing I need for season 2, we've talked, it's new chairs. So be on the lookout for them because I am so ready. These IKEA chairs are not cutting it, honey.
They were $12.50.
All right, but you know what? That $12.50. I want to say thank you to our close fam sponsors because without that, I'd be sitting on my ass. Okay, which it's padded, so it probably wouldn't be too bad. But thank you to our close fam sponsors, and thank you to all of our Call Me Mother sponsors, aka Barbara Rambo, Kathy P, the DragFam 27, and Barbella Whiskey. I'll probably see most of you guys at a show. I know that. But to anybody that I will not see on at a show, and I'll just see you guys online. Hopefully, you guys will be tuning in come next spring. But until then, hasta la vista for now. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.